Morning, guys. Going to get a load of beams. I've done beam videos before, but remember, I'm trying to update all my securement stuff for you. So it is raining like crazy down here. I'm going to take advantage of my shop, and I'm going to set my deck up before I even leave, pretty much. So it's more likely than not there won't be a break in the weather. When I get to Arkansas, it'll be a torrential downpour. So we'll do it in here. So let me flip this around and show you what we got to do. All right, so I'm getting a mixture of 50s and 40s. So I need to move these tarps. If I don't, the beams will be right up on there, maybe even cut the tarps or be hanging off the back. We don't want neither one. So I'm gonna move them to the back. I gotta go get my winch bar, but now they should have the 50s on the bottom, 40 on the top, but don't bank on that. So I'm going to set up for the 40s being on the bottom just in case. And that will actually give me a little more lift, even if the 50s are on the bottom, to clear the tarps. And that'll make more sense to you in a minute. So we'll start at our light. If the 40s are on the bottom, you don't want to go more than 20 feet. You want to leave a couple feet, so we'll go 18. We'll start right here. These are 2 feet apart. I've told you that, guys. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I'll put my lift board right about here, and the tarps will be back here. So let me set this deck up and I'll show you what I'm talking about, and here we'll get rolling in a little bit. All right, see you in a minute. Then I don't have to do all this. You know, guys, they'll sit in a line for an hour, man, and then they'll pull up and the forklift man's sitting there with their beams and they're lollygagging around, getting their boards and chains out. It drives me nuts, man. It drives me nuts, and it slows everything down. All right, let me get going. All right, we got it all moved, got my boards out ready to go. I'll show you. When I flip this one up and set it, due to the arch of the trailer, it'll clear those tarps. I just moved the tarps back here by Tonka. Okay, so it's ready to go. Take me 2 seconds to pop those straps and set my boards out, and we'll be ready to load. And we'll go over securement. All right, we gotta get LMA fired up and get moving. I'm running a little late. As usual, it takes me forever to get out of the house. See you, bye. Okay, we're in line now at the beam yard in Blytheville, Arkansas. Somewhere we've been many times, Roger. So everything's set up. I spread it all out. I'll get out and show you that when I load because it's raining. But everybody in front of me, and as far as I can see behind me, are a bunch of professionals. They're all in Peterbilts, older Freightliners and Kenworths, so that kind of tells the story. No flip-flop wannabe flatbedders in here without their stuff ready. They're the ones that sit in the line here and wait till they pull out in the yard to start getting their crap ready and hold up the whole show. So I don't think y'all can see if you can see it. Can you see it? I don't know. Now we've got our boards out ready to go. So we just gotta wait until we get up there and then we follow the forklift. As far as beams go, 90% of the time you use chains. If it's real thin beams, like for manufactured homes and stuff, you probably want to use straps with edge protectors so you don't bend the edges of them. And what else? So I don't forget, you get 53 feet of total cargo in most states, so I have a 53 footer. With my tarps there, it might have hung over the back, and you can't do that on a 53. A 48, you get 5 feet, or 53 total. You can't have 5 off the front, 5 off the back, if you don't have a headboard. And other than that, if they're short beams, remember your penalty strap. If you are more than 10 feet in most states, I think a couple states are 5 feet off of the headboard or headache rack on your truck, you must throw a penalty strap or chain. Google that. But since we're going to be right up next to the headboard, we will be good. So we should be using, I got 6 chains out, and that's all we should need. I think it's 45,000 pounds or something, so pretty easy. And I have a beam board video. Maybe I'll link that if I remember. If not, go watch it. The reason I have some of my beams have 2x4s screwed on top of them. A couple of them have 1. And one of them has 2 2x4s for lift, and you're going to see where that comes into play to get these beams to lift over my tarps or barely touch them so they don't tear. We'll get to all that when we secure it. All right, see you in a little bit. We're out here in the yard. Looks like he's got to stack my stuff up a little bit. So as you can see, I got this one board back here, 4x4 with two 2x4s. With the drop of that angle, it ought to shove those beams just over the top of my tarps. And I got two regular 4x4s kind of in the middle. Nothing out here so he don't hang his forks up. And a 4x4 with one 2x4 up here, kind of lift the front up. Remember, your trailer's got a pretty good arch in it. So a little lift in the front and a little in the back makes it sit nice and level. Pretty quick in here usually. We'll see after, once he throws it on, we throw 2 chains and get on out of here. All right, see you, bye. See you in a minute. While I'm waiting, another thing, I'm always showing you guys, dump the air in your trailer, make it easier to work, but another thing it does, makes it easier to see. I gotta see up over those tarps and everything to get him to tell him if I want it left, right, to square it up. And that drops at about 2 feet and I can easily see now. I'm pretty tall, but if you're short, this would really help you. Lower that trailer down so you could see to square the forklift driver up and get your load right without having to jump up and down and run side to side. We'll see after they throw this on. All right, other than it's raining, it's nice. It's like 70 degrees, so shouldn't need a jacket. I'm gonna show you a couple tricks, show you how to secure this, and here's a bonus. I'm gonna show you if you have high level OCD like me and you gotta keep things clean, something I do here real quick. This is a good time to show you. So let me flip this around, show you that, and then we'll get to work. All right, so that mud was several inches of, that yard was several inches of mud. So I always carry, look at my steps, it's a mess, right? I carry a towel and I set it on the floor. I got a couple of these old brown towels. Now all I gotta do is shake that out, and I also have an air thing to blow the truck out. And I also use that towel to wipe these steps off, and now that I'm out here, I won't get it dirty. I'll shake it out, flip the towel around, and yeah, it helps keep the truck clean. If you're interested in that jazz. I'm gonna show you some tricks so you don't have to crawl up and down on the truck like this guy was, and make this easy on you. All right, see you in a minute. Boom, just like that. Got the steps wiped off pretty good. All that mud pretty much gone. Flip the towel around, and it'll dry, and then we'll shake out the dust later. So, all right, get to work here. First, we're gonna drop the air on the trailer again, and you can see why I had to move those tarps. I'm right up to, it's actually touching my wood here. Tarps usually sit under there, and they're not stacked the best, but it'll work. It's not hanging off the back. You can see that lifted it up pretty much over the tarps. It's touching it a little bit, but nothing major. See, I can still get my finger under there, so it's not going to tear them. The Tonka truck made it. And we'll get to securing here. All right, see you in a minute. All right, first thing, get you an old man ladder. You don't have to get on top of the trailer to grab links up there, get your chains straight. So we got them spread out we want. They're all 8 feet apart. You're allowed 10. I don't need the penalty chain or strap because we're up on our headboard. You can see it, but I do have that one right there on purpose. Okay, those top ones for moving forward, hopefully. Everybody worries about coils. No, those are safer. Beams and pipe will slide on you, okay? So take your time. Also back here, I'll show you, I got this chain in this spot for a reason. Also, so those don't slide. They shouldn't slide anyway, but just in case. An extra line of defense. Now the next thing you want to do, a couple more things here. And of course I gotta spread the axles. You go get your winch bar and you take out all your frustrations on these chains. Give them a good hit. A couple good hits, both hands. What that'll do is send vibrations down the chain. You got any kinks up there that you can't see, it'll knock them out and your chains will come loose. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you how to bungee them up and something to watch for. See you in a minute. All right, once you beat up your binders and chains and got everything tight, you're going to wrap all this excess around your binder, clean it up nice with a bungee cord. Now, something you want to watch for is this latch is on the bottom of my chain on purpose. I wouldn't want it, the handle the other way and the latch right here and that chain to knock the latch loose going down the road, because you don't have to move this handle for this to loosen. If you notice, once you get a little loose, you can turn this by hand. Well, bouncing up and down in the vibration will cause this binder to back off. So we don't want that latch to flip. So it's under here, away from the chain, okay? So we bring it around so that chain can't get to it. We do that on all of them. And of course, don't bottom out your binders. You shouldn't need to. No less than a ½ inch, I think, or at least 5 or 6 threads. So don't bottom them out. That's a DOT violation. So wrap it up clean and keep the chain away from the latch. Roger? That's all I know, man. I'm gonna do that last one. Get out of here. If I think of anything else to tell you about beams, I just went to low battery power. I'll come back and film it, but that's about it, man. I mean, not only does that lift it up away from your tarps, it helps it kind of sit level, right? All right, I just got to finish that chain, spread the axles, and we're trucking. All right, guys, God bless you. See you, bye. All right, guys, hey, one last thing. Load checks. Some people just don't understand them, don't know about them, or don't think they need to do them, or they think they're optional. None of that is true. One, you should be doing them because you need to be doing them. And two, you're legally required to do it when you're pulling a flatbed. So, first one's within 50 miles. Then it's supposed to be every 2 hours, or 3 hours, or 150 miles after that. Do them. Doesn't take that long, and they're important. So I'm doing one right now. Thought I'd throw that in. All right, guys, that should wrap it up for this video. Bye now.